I never thought this day would come, but here we are. I, Queen Coke Francis, have officially hit over 1,000 subscribers. After all these years, the short bursts of hard work, punctuated by the long periods of playing Devil May Cry, have finally paid off. I officially have 4 digits of subscribers because of you, my good bitches. Guys, I don't think I can handle this. I've started to mourn my old life. Things will never be the same now. I can never return to those salad days of having less than 1,000 subscribers. With great power comes great responsibility. It's a blessing, but it's also a curse. What the future holds for me is still unknown. I mean, I'll probably still live in an apartment in North Hollywood. I'll keep making videos. I'm still gonna waste hours of my life playing Devil May Cry. Okay, you know what? Nothing's actually going to change. But still, thank you. Anyway, to the topic of today's video. Unfortunately, I get the most views when I talk about politics or reality TV, and since the former is exhausting, today we'll be looking at a tremendous show that just premiered on Out TV earlier this year. Also, before anyone asks, I will blow my dog before I make a video about 90 Day Fiancé. Greetings, my good bitches. The name's Francis, Coke Francis. I'm an editor, comedy writer, drag artist, and I'm here because I'm that much closer to beating Joey Zazik's subscriber count. You've probably seen countless videos on this godforsaken site about a show called MILF Manor, and if you haven't seen it, however bad you think it's going to be, it's worse than that.
Woo!
That's my mom right there.
So, we're supposed to date the other moms?
You're here. That's so weird.
Yeah.
That is so weird.
Anyway, the gays inevitably caught wind of MILF Manor because we're all obsessed with reality TV for some reason. And MILF Manor met its match with the premiere of For the Love of DILFs, an oddly wholesome show about himbos and daddies meeting other himbos and daddies. Oh, and it gets better. It's hosted by none other than freshly crowned gay icon and renowned demon slayer Stormy Daniels. Now, if there's one thing you know about me, it's that I what?
Love a good semi-hot dad.
Very good. I was a logo bitch growing up, but apparently Out TV has so much money, they made a show just for me. But before we get into it, if you are a fan of watching a very tired drag queen talk about nerd shit forever, I ask that you please go on a date with someone, but secretly bring a camera crew with you. When your date asks you what your hobbies are, knowingly smile into the camera that they're not aware of the existence of, then go ahead and unzip your pants and dick slap those like and subscribe buttons as hard as you can. So in episode 1, we're introduced to DILF Mansion by a narrator who, for some reason, I was not expecting to be Australian, and he explains the differences between himbos and daddies as if the only demographic watching this show doesn't know.
Himbos. Muscular, kind-hearted, ready to party, and maybe a little chaotic. Daddies. Distinguished, insightful, nurturing, maybe a little too set in their ways.
And Stormy Daniels arrives in all her glory, though I think she's just as confused as we are as to why she's the host of an exclusively gay male dating show. But hey, I ain't complaining.
But hey, the check cleared. And I love a good check.
She truly is a woman of the people. You've heard of fag hags and fruit flies, but Stormy only hangs out with bears. She's what we call a Goldilocks. The Australian narrator is named Dr. DILF, which is a nickname that I will be stealing. And this show is his experiment where himbos and daddies will earn their shot at true love and $10,000. Oh, and Dr. DILF? He's a cunt.
I've already written like 3 songs, and so yeah, that's what I got going on right now.
Prolific! Phoenix is perfecting his most challenging acting role yet. a blonde.
See what's up with their bodies.
That's only mildly creepy. I assume e-commerce means selling foot pics online. I'm glad Bobby decided to wear his formal hoodie.
So I know we won't actually get to see Dr. DILF because he's not a real dude, but I want to see what this narrator looks like because I know for a fact he's a fucking twink. We meet our himbos Mateo, Phoenix, Nathan, Tokyo, and my personal favorite, Tony Cannoli. He is the only one of the group that actually provided a last name. I don't think that's actually his last name though. I think the name Cannoli was earned, if you know what I mean. So the himbos have to pick a personal item from each of the daddies to meet their match, and after more weird commentary from Dr. DILF, we meet Bobby, Gordon, another Tony, Jeffrey, and my personal favorite, Alex, who is a self-described,
Unabashed, unapologetic sex worker.
and fuck yeah, we need more normalization of sex work. For as shady as Dr. DILF is, he sure does have a very sex and body positive show going here.
I could not believe my eyes. I mean, yes, yes, double yes. Exactly.
Me playing Final Fantasy 16.
I loved just the various types of himbos. I thought they were all beautiful.
So yes, I agree. There's diversity here. There's representation. You'll love to see it. The only problem is that a lot of these himbos are drifting dangerously close to twink territory. Alex and Tony Cannoli Ravioli Formuoli, they're really the only couple I care about. But I want to see where this goes. Oh yeah, so in addition to Dr. DILF being a fucking asshole, they also make this show like weirdly meta.
But first, here are some reality TV establishing shots of our multi-million-dollar mansion.
Which in a way I do appreciate, but as with meta humor in general, it gets really old really fast. The first date is Bobby and Nathan, who jokingly brings up the fact that they both have neck tattoos, but of course Dr. DILF just has to chime in with his commentary as well.
Right away, we know you both had turbulent childhoods. If Nathan was impressed by the relaxed briefs, I bet he loved the moth-eaten hoodie.
God, that missing part of your eyebrow thing that Nathan's got going on, love that. Looks so cool on other people. I should start doing that. If my Cyberpunk 2077 character can do that, then god damn it, so can I. Next we have Gordon in Tokyo, and since he's a rapper, Gordon asks him to freestyle a bit.
I got that sloppy top hip, but you already knew that. A whole lot of spit, no gag, bitch. I'ma do that when I bend it over, pussy hanging. Chew that cut, splits on a dick, give a bitch.
That wasn't bad, actually. I know they're trying to play up the whole, like, reality TV cringe thing, but I don't know, man. These guys are pretty cool.
Nicki Minaj or Cardi B?
Oh, Squidward.
Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? Never ask a gay man that question on the first date. It'll ruin the relationship.
Cardi's funnier, so I'm gonna go with that.
Also, Cardi is only funnier than Nicki when she's destroying Candace Owens on social media. So now we have Jeffrey and Mateo, and I don't know what it is about Mateo. It's just like, how do I put this? He looks like he's just got nothing going on behind the eyes. Or maybe his brows just set the bar really high. Those are some nice brows. Now onto the only couple that I actually care about, who have been affectionately dubbed the Beauty and the Beast.
They say if you stare into Alex's back hair long enough, it'll tell you the exact date you're going to die. Whoever said gay men are vapid and sex crazed are about to be proven somewhat correct.
Dude, what is the deal? So Tony Cannoli Macaroni Stromboni tells Alex that he's always dreamed of having a fairy tale wedding and meeting his Prince Charming. And Alex reveals that he's a sex worker, and my god, my heart was in my throat the entire time because unfortunately there still is such a negative stigma around sex work, and it can be a deal breaker for a lot of people. But Tony agrees to another date, and hopefully the producers don't fuck this up. Sex workers deserve a happily ever after too. The most, actually, I'd say. Finally, we get to Phoenix and Daddy Tony, and Tony does not think that they're a match, but he says he'll keep an open mind.
It might be more to him than meets the eye.
Like a really big
Dude, would you fuck off? Big power bottom energy on this one. I like how we have basically the same natural hair, except, mine is better.
Age is just a number, right?
That's an R. Kelly song. So the himbos and daddies all meet in their communal spaces to discuss their dates, and shout out to the gaffer tape covering the logo on Bobby's hat. Once again, there are dudes who are using a reality TV show to come out of the closet, and, whatever works, man.
Bobby knows it's best to meet younger men in the dimmest lighting possible.
Okay, listen, the narrator was funny at first, now it's annoying. So there's tension between the two himbos who are both named after cities, because one of them is friends with the other's ex or something, and they go to clear the air, but not before Dr. DILF mentions that they're doing this because it's a reality TV show. And I get it, you're aware this is reality TV, you're never gonna stop talking about how it's reality TV. You're hilarious, you're perfect, you're beautiful, you look like Linda Evangelista,
Tonight, we're having a cocktail party. I know you're expecting a cock joke, but frankly, it's beneath me.
Oh, so the cock joke is beneath you.
And I'd rather have it inside me.
And he made the cock joke anyway. So Dr. DILF tells us that Stormy organized this cocktail party and burned the appetizers, and the production design PA is breathing the biggest sigh of relief right now. Thanks to the show's weird meta humor, they get to keep their job.
She may play a housewife in porn, but we clearly didn't hire her for her domestic skills.
How do I write snarky commentary about snarky commentary? How does one roast the roaster? And no, I'm not just asking that question because I very gracefully lost a roast battle the other day. Oh yeah, and there's a knight who's always in this room for some reason. So Stormy tells everyone that they'll have the chance to mingle at this cocktail party, but announces that in the next episode, a new himbo will be arriving and one of them will be going home. Why are they doing close-ups of the knight? So Stormy asks each couple how they're doing and if they're vibing, and I love how if this was any other situation outside of this being a TV show, they would absolutely be in the right to be like, girl, mind your own fucking business. I don't know how many of you good bitches out there are fans of Margaret Cho, but that woman introduced me to the term dick o'clock.
You know what time that is, don't you? That's when all the gay men start looking for dick. And if you don't have a dick, you have no reason to be in the gay bar. Seriously, you need to leave. I mean, you could be the best fag hag in the world. You could be Judy Garland back from the dead. Queens don't give a shit.
Don't worry, they'll hear all about it tomorrow. The bond between women and gay men is sacred and shall not be broken for eternity.
That said black pair I actually took from a hookup.
Because nothing says Prince Charming like petty larceny.
Girl, shut up.
I was very happy when I saw you.
Please stay together forever. So I was only going to review the first episode of this, but there are two factors that are making me continue. One, I gotta know who goes home in the next episode. Two, I gotta know if these two are okay.
Safe to say your little experiment is working.
Is she talking to an Animal Crossing character right now? Alright, god damn it, on to episode 2. I'm invested!
But today we have our newest himbo entering the house, which means I'm going to have to push the singles to dig deeper.
What's this I'm business? You're not even in the show, dude. So Daddy Tony and Tokyo start to hit it off. The neck tattoo couple is necking, and Gordon is determined to find something behind Mateo's eyes. And Stormy comes in to introduce the newest himbo to the bunch, but not before
Stormy and I have a roleplay scene where we pretend she's the host of a reality show and I'm the disembodied announcer. Kinky stuff. This won't create any petty drama in the group. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. It will create petty drama in the group.
You know, one of my biggest problems is that I constantly forget that I'm watching a reality TV show, and like, thank God there's a faceless Australian to remind me that I am in fact watching a reality TV show. You know what? I don't think he's actually Australian. The newest addition is Matt, who's also got the super cool missing part of your eyebrow thing going. God damn, that looks so cool. I'm gonna start doing that. But Jeffrey starts simping for him hard, and it's actually super cute.
Let's watch as all Jeffrey's blood rushes from his head to his head.
I feel so much resentment whenever I laugh at one of Dr. DILF's jokes. So Stormy commences the strip dodgeball challenge, where if you get hit, you take something off, but once you're down to your undies, you're out. But the twist is that the winning team gets to pick their dates that night. And the twist of that twist is that because there's an odd number of himbos, the leftover himbo gets to play third wheel and crash everyone else's dates. Dr. DILF, you fucking sociopath, you've done it again.
Alex has been hit! Mateo has been hit! Who cares? The producers just wanted to get everyone naked.
It doesn't stop. Like, for every line that makes me genuinely laugh, there are like 7 others that make me want to Persona 3 myself. But the himbos have officially won the game, and now Stormy's gonna pull their names out of a hat and they're gonna choose their daddy dates for the night. The neck tattoo couple is reunited. Tony Cannoli Alveoli picks Alex and the world is healing as it should be. Matt picks Jeffrey and we are so happy for our boy. Tokyo goes back to Gordon, and Mateo and Daddy Tony are the only couple left, which means Shady here is out. I know this won't actually happen, but considering the raw power bottom energy emitting from Phoenix, I would just love to see him steal someone away with like true mental manipulation.
But when you think about it, 5 daddies, 5 more opportunities. Maybe it won't be such a bad thing to meet with all of them.
No TV production nonsense, just straight up Machiavellian mind tricks that'll have Phoenix be like,
I've won. Exactly as planned.
So Tony Cannoli Spartaloni approaches Alex and says that there's been something on his mind, and it's coming from a place of love, which means obviously that he wants to talk about the fact that Alex is a sex worker. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, because when you are a sex worker and you're dating somebody outside of that industry, they're naturally gonna want to learn more, and it's kind of a conversation that has to be had at some point. You and I know that it's just a job, but for some people, the idea of their partner having sex with somebody else in any context makes them feel uncomfortable. And unfortunately, this is probably something Alex deals with on the regular, and I'm hoping it's not a deal breaker on Tony's end, but I'm assuming the producers told Tony to intentionally keep this vague so that I have an anxiety attack. Where's Dr. DILF when you actually need him? Because now Alex is freaking out, and I just want to give him and his back hair a massive hug. So the 2 guys who are named after cities have another conversation to clear the air. I don't know, I forgot about that whole thing.
That was surprisingly mature and kind-hearted. How the hell did that make the final edit?
I hate that I laughed at that. So because they're in Florida for some reason and it's raining, they have to set up this cute little picnic thing indoors with their chosen dates. The lady showing up with a fabulous bedazzled heart works really well because the night here is still here. Why is there a night? I absolutely love that they kept Gordon knocking the bottle over in the final edit. These are the parts of the show that I live for. Same with this one.
This is a pretty great setup that they have for us here, right? Nothing I like better than like a grape and a pretzel at the same time.
Anyway, the couple start making small talk that's mostly just them talking about whether they're tops or bottoms. And now it's time for Phoenix to start crashing dates and earn his spot at DILF Mansion. I bet he can do it with his competitive spirit and cunning power bottom wiles.
Hey.
Oh shit.
What are we talking about? So, you guys seem like you've been hitting it off, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think Phoenix got the hint kind of right away when he sat down because there was no breaking up me and Nathan. I mean, that check is signed, sealed, delivered.
Oof, he's done. That's it for this poor dude. This is like a traumatic brain injury that makes you only able to run to the mailbox once a day for the rest of your life.
She's like, hey, what's going on? What are deal breakers for you? And I'm like, you don't leave me the fuck alone with this man. I have a man. I have a husband sitting in front of me, and you are ruining things, sir.
God damn, I fucking love Jeffrey. So now we're on to the couple of the hour, and Tony brings up the conversation with Alex that we all knew he was going to, and now Alex is in full panic defense mode, which I completely understand. This is probably something that he deals with constantly. It's gotta be extremely frustrating. But honestly, Tony approaches the subject pretty calmly and carefully and makes a point of saying that he doesn't want Alex to change and that he just wants to learn more.
I mean, at this point, I haven't had sex in like 48 hours, so I'm open to anything, really. Okay,
so Mateo's still got nothing going on behind the eyes, but he still knows what's up. And Daddy Tony hits Phoenix with the "this could be us, but you playing," as if he doesn't know that Phoenix is all but certainly going home tonight.
He's already
He did.
So now we're at the part that made me want to continue into the next episode, the himbo elimination. Through an order chosen at random, the daddies will pick which himbo to save. And as always, the knight is still here. Does the knight get to choose? Hold up, is Dr. DILF hiding inside the knight? The adorable neck tattoo couple is still going strong. Daddy Tony picks Tokyo, Gordon picks Mateo, Jeffrey is of course at his king's service. And now it's time for Alex to please just make the right decision. Now I know y'all just had that awkward conversation, I know your defense is on high alert right now, but come on. Not saying I don't love the absolute savagery of Phoenix, it's actually one of the few things he's got going for him, but come on. Tony Cannoli Minestrone is clearly the correct choice. Jesus, he's taking an awfully long time to decide here. Is he really second guessing? Is this just editing? Did the producers tell him to do this? Is Dr. DILF hiding inside the night and telling Alex what to do? Was I high when I wrote this script? What the fuck?
My heart is racing fast. This isn't a happily ever after. I mean, we haven't even got to, the ballroom scene yet.
Girl, me too! What is happening? We gotta get this man a ball gown. Pronto! Okay, so Alex did choose Tony. I'm not even sure why I doubted it, considering that Alex and Phoenix never really had an interaction outside of that awkward third wheel shit. But man, I was shooketh.
Do you have anything you'd like to share with the other singles before you leave?
You're all cunts.
I think what I like the most about Phoenix is that in any other reality TV context, he would absolutely be that bitch who's like, I didn't come here to make friends, but like he couldn't do that here. Or maybe he could. This is a dating show, after all.
I don't think I want a Prince Charming anymore. I think I'm ready for a beast.
Let's go! Me at my kindergarten graduation. Once again, the episode concludes with Stormy talking to Dr. DILF on the phone, who really does sound like an Animal Crossing character. So like, I've never really been into dating shows. Like, I know nothing about The Bachelor or Love is Blind or Love Island, all that gay shit. Up until this point, the only dating show that I had watched more than one episode of is Flavor of Love, which I stuck with until Goldie was eliminated, and then I didn't care. She was best girl. If you've never seen Flavor of Love, good God, get your life together and watch it. I have no idea if the kids know who Flava Flav is outside of Shea Coulee's impression of him and when he got roundhouse kicked in the face on the Eric Andre show. Either way, Flavor of Love is tremendous. Why haven't I done a video on that? I have a clock with a chain on it. Why haven't I done a video on that? Anyway, my point is that I'm not a connoisseur of dating shows and I'm not going to pretend to be one. But nonetheless, I have watched a lot of reality TV. Too much, actually. You guys underestimate just how many brain cells I lost watching Real Friends of WeHo and A-List New York. They made me feel as though I had never seen a good show in my entire life. But I definitely didn't feel that way after watching just a few episodes of For the Love of DILFs. Quite the opposite, actually. As we saw, they certainly didn't skip the opportunity to poke fun at the dating show genre, almost to a fault, in fact. For every funny joke from that Dr. DILF guy, there were 5 others that made me cringe permanently into a state of scoliosis. But they knew I was doing that. That was their plan all along. There's a difference between self-aware humor and meta humor, and both were present here. Meta humor is kind of tricky because it's easy to become overly reliant on comedy being derived from the characters knowing they're in a movie or show or whatever, and it can get old pretty fast. If they had made no other meta jokes aside from
That was surprisingly mature and kind-hearted. How the hell did that make the final edit?
that would have hit extra hard because it would have subverted our expectations. So the whole reality shows are cringe, dating shows are cringe, look how cringe we are, became kind of hit or miss. It actually weirdly reminded me of how I dealt with bullying when I was younger, which is coincidentally what got me into the art of roasting. It was a defense mechanism, which was my way of being like, you can't bully me if I bully me first, which unfortunately grew into a self-deprecating sense of humor that actually took years of therapy to overcome, not to worry, good bitches. I experienced my villain arc, and you can too. It was the self-aware moments of the show that I truly lived for, and that was on part of Stormy and the contestants. Take this shot of Gordon spilling his beer, for instance. It was part of a single panning out shot with a beautiful harp playing in the background, and we saw the action and reactions from everyone who witnessed it silently. It was like watching an Inarritu film. This was art. Any other reality show either would have cut that entirely or made a big fucking thing about it and then bring it up in the confessionals. Or just the discussion that Bobby and Nathan had at the picnic. Or all the shots of that goddamn night. I want a night. How do I get a night? See, that's what makes it a self-aware show, not the bombardment of meta jokes from the guy who I know isn't a doctor, isn't a DILF, and most certainly isn't Australian. That combined with a genuinely likable and diverse cast and renowned demon slayer Stormy Daniels, who doesn't know why she's there but happy nonetheless, make the show fun, lighthearted, approachable. It's a nice show. Not an amazing one, not a dramatic one. It's a nice show about handsome fellows meeting the man of their dreams. I haven't finished the show yet, but if Alex and Tony Cannoli Abalone don't stay together, I will unalive Dr. DILF myself. I also love how body positive this show was, despite Dr. DILF making comments about tattoos or back hair or whatever. The cool thing about these guys is that they probably wouldn't give two fucks if they heard those things said about them in person. Not the daddies, at least. I know I made the joke that some of the himbos were drifting dangerously close to twink territory, but I actually really do appreciate all these body types. As someone who grew up during the embarrassingly fatphobic 2000s, you know, the years when people looked at this picture of Queen Brittany and called her a whale, where you couldn't walk 5 feet without seeing magazines shaming women and mothers for having body fat of any kind, where it was completely normalized for Victoria's Secret models to develop cocaine addictions. Horrifying! Anyway, as someone who bore witness to that very dark time in human and fashion history, the fact that there's a gay dating show that celebrates other body types aside from the whole Adonis look is amazing to me. The fact that the physically biggest guy on the daddies team is an underwear model is amazing. The fact that they had someone who's openly a sex worker and had a positive conversation about it is amazing. You love to see it. It's comforting to know that we've come a long way from that poor 22-year-old wannabe model who got shamed for looking completely normal. Hell, we've come a long way from Real Friends of WeHo, which came out almost exactly a year before this did. That went way more in depth than I had intended it to, especially for a show literally called For the Love of DILFs. Now, you know I love a good semi-hot dad, but you know what I also love? The winning comment from the last video. Big Wet Noodle says, Gordon Ramsay altered my entire life with one single line. In Kitchen Nightmares Season 3, Episode 8, at around the 22:54 mark, Gordon drops the hardest roast I have ever heard in my life, calling someone a big wet noodle. Big Wet Noodle became my new online identity, and over time I found comfort in the name Noodle, people referring to me via handle, as I started to understand more about my gender identity. I ended up keeping it. He's such an inspiration. Thank you, Gordon, but also please never make grilled cheese again. Also, I love this look so much. It is so spooky and slay. You are so talented. I wish my drag name came from something hilarious like this. This is beautiful. Slay. Keep slaying. Live out your fantasy. You too can be featured in the next video. Leave a comment below and I will pick my favorite one and give you a shout out next time. If you would like to see more of my clown mug elsewhere, please consider following me on Instagram or TikTok. My handle for both is @QueenCokeFrancis. If you enjoyed this video and you haven't done this already, please go on a date, but be sure to bring a camera crew with you. When your date asks you what your hobbies are, smile knowingly into the camera that they're not aware of the existence of, and then go ahead and unzip your pants and dick slap those like and subscribe buttons as hard as you can. And of course, as always, until next time, howdy.